Hi everyone. I'm Bubbles from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you a passionate couple toy. For this electronic tutorial, you can visit the website by searching susud.com. This toy is divided into male and female versions, both having a main part and clothing. Let's start with learning how to crochet the main part. It consists of the arms, the head, the facial features, the legs, and the body. The pattern for this toy is presented in a chart format. Before we start crocheting, let's familiarize ourselves with the chart. Most of this product's pattern is explained using chart tables. Next, I'll teach you how to understand the chart. In the chart, R plus number indicates the round number. H plus number indicates the row number. The stitch instructions column shows the stitch patterns needed for crocheting the current round, along with any increases or decreases required. The total stitches column indicates the total number of stitches in the current round, after all the stitches have been completely crocheted. Below, we will first learn how to crochet the arms. The arms for both male and female figures are identical. Both have the same 2 arms. Both use the magic ring method to start. Crochet along the starting chain. The new stitches used include X single crochet, V single crochet increase, 4 DC popcorn stitch, a single crochet decrease. Now, let's take the corresponding color yarn. For convenience in watching, I will demonstrate here with another color of yarn. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Start with a magic ring. Then crochet 6 single crochets in the large space of the magic ring. Pay attention to crocheting the X stitch single crochet. After completing, close the ring. Then join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. This completes the first round. The side with the yarn tail from the magic ring is the wrong side. The other side is the right side. Now let's move on to the second round. Parentheses indicate a group. X a number indicates the number of times to repeat the pattern. Let's start with the first group. First, make a chain stitch as beginning chain. Then in the same stitch, where you joined with a slip stitch, work a single crochet. Weave in the ends. Work a single crochet increase into the adjacent stitch. That is, work 2 single crochets in the same stitch. This completes one group within the parentheses. Continue to complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Flip the fabric so the right side faces out. The starting yarn tail can be woven into the fabric later. Alternatively, you can cut it off. Now everyone complete the third round. Even means one stitch to another. The number of stitches after completing this round will be the same as the previous round. Next, we'll work on the fourth round. Make a chain stitch as a beginning chain. Work 4 single crochets first. Then work a 4 DC popcorn stitch. First, in the adjacent stitch, work 4 double crochets. After completing, enlarge the loop, remove the crochet hook, insert it into the first double crochet, then draw out the loop that was left. Work a chain stitch to secure. Pay attention, the completed stitch pattern should pop up on the right side. That completes 1 4 DC popcorn stitch. Continue and finish this round completely. After finishing, conclude with a slip stitch. That completes the fourth round. Now let's move on to the fifth round. Make a chain stitch as a beginning chain. Work single crochets along each stitch. When you encounter a popcorn stitch, you can pick up the securing chain stitch to crochet. Complete this round. After finishing, work a slip stitch. Tighten. That completes the fifth round. Next, everyone finish the sixth round. Now let's work on the seventh round. Make a chain stitch as a beginning chain. Then work a single crochet. Follow up with a single crochet decrease. Let's take a look. One stitch has 2 loops like this. The loop closer to you is the front loop. The loop farther from you is the back loop. Insert the hook into the front loops of the 2 stitches on the left side. Then yarn over. Draw the yarn through the first 2 loops. Yarn over again, and pull through. That completes 1 single crochet decrease. Continue following the chart to complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch. That concludes the 7th round. Next, everyone follow the chart to complete the remaining rounds. After finishing, leave a tail of about 15 centimeters and cut the yarn. Then use the same method to crochet another hand. That completes the arms. Next, let's learn how to crochet the legs. The legs are crocheted together with the shoes. They are divided into the left leg and the right leg. The crocheting method for both legs is identical. While crocheting, insert the shaping wire and stuffing cotton. The new stitches used include TV half double crochet increase, W 3 single crochets in 1 stitch, F double crochet, and Fa double crochet decrease. Please watch the demonstration. First, we'll start with a beginning chain. The beginning chain is 7ch. This means the method for starting is a foundation chain. It consists of 7 chains. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Leave about 5 centimeters of yarn tail. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Place it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Place the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten. Now we'll start crocheting chain stitches. There are 7 stitches in total. Each V-shaped braid represents 1 stitch. Now we've crocheted 2 stitches. Like this, the foundation chain is completed. Next, we'll crochet the first round. R1 is Dow 2, 5x, W, 4x, V. Dow 2 means start in the second CH from the hook. Count back from the side of the hook. First stitch. Second stitch. This is the second CH from the hook. Insert the hook into this stitch. Pick up the half loop on top. That is, 1 strand of yarn like this. Work 1 single crochet. Then pick the half loop above the adjacent chain stitch. Continue crocheting 4 single crochets evenly. After completing, on the first chain of the foundation chain, crochet 1 3 single crochet in 1. Rotate the piece. You can see that, on this side, each chain stitch has 2 strands of yarn remaining. Pick up the 2 remaining strands from the adjacent chain below. This is the insertion point for the single crochets on this side. Work 4 single crochets even and then 1 single crochet increase. Place the starting yarn tail above the hook, and hide it as you crochet. After completing the last stitch, pick the first stitch's loop, crochet 1 slip stitch. Let's find the first stitch. Count 14 stitches backward from the stitch on the right of the hook. The 14th V-shaped braid is the first stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Hook the yarn out. And draw through in once the loop's on the hook. Slip stitch is done. This is the chain formed by the slip stitch. The slip stitch doesn't count as one stitch. You need to tighten it to avoid crocheting extra stitches later. Like this, the first round is completed. Next, let's crochet the second round. Work 1 chain as the beginning chain for the single crochet. This chain doesn't count as a stitch. Gently pull to tighten it slightly. Then, work into the first stitch of the previous round. That is, the insertion point of the slip stitch. Make a single crochet increase. Then work 3 single crochets evenly. After completion, make another single crochet increase. Next comes the half double crochet increase. That is, work 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Yarn over. Insert. Yarn over again. Draw the yarn through. There are now 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. 1 half double crochet is completed. Now work another one in the same stitch. Yarn over. Insert underneath into the same stitch. Yarn over again. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over, and draw through all the loops on the hook. The second half double crochet is completed. Like this, you've completed 1 half double crochet increase. Next, work 1 more half double crochet increase in each of the next 2 adjacent stitches. Then, follow the stitch pattern in the chart, and finish crocheting this round. After completing the last stitch, join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. Insert the hook into the first stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. And draw through all the loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. Pull tight. Finally, crochet 1 chain to secure. Leave a tail of about 5 centimeters and cut the yarn. Tighten. You can see, one side of the fabric has a clear texture, the other side has a blurry texture. The side with the clearer texture is the right side. Next, everyone repeats this process to crochet another identical piece. After completing it, there's no need to fasten off the yarn. Everyone look, this is what it looks like after completing 2 pieces. Now, let's connect the 2 pieces together. Chain 1 to begin. Take the other piece. Place the 2 pieces with wrong sides together. Right sides face out. Insert the hook into the first stitch of this piece. And the last stitch of the corresponding piece. Make 1 slip stitch. Do not tighten the slip stitches for this round of joining. Next, insert into the adjacent stitch. At the same time, go through the adjacent stitch on the bottom piece. Continue to crochet slip stitches. Complete this round. Place the yarn tail between the two pieces and hide it inside. Pay attention during the crocheting process. Make sure the stitches align properly, and don't get out of place. They need to be aligned. After completing the final stitch, pick up the first slip stitch chain. Join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. This way, the two pieces are now connected. Since the third round will require a color change, you need to fasten off here. Crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Leave about 5 centimeters of yarn tail before cutting the yarn. Tighten it. Next, work on the third round. Take the corresponding color yarn. I'm using random colors here. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Leave about 5 centimeters of yarn tail. Insert the hook into the braid of the slip stitch on the left side of the breakpoint. That's these 2 strands of yarn. Hook the yarn out. Make a chain stitch as a beginning chain. Then pick up the same braid and crochet 1 single crochet. As you work, keep both yarn tails above the hook. Hide the yarn tails as you crochet. Tighten the yarn tail. Continue picking up adjacent slip stitch braids, and work single crochets all the way down. Work all the way around to complete this round. After finishing the last stitch, don't forget to check the stitch count. Then join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. Everyone, take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the third round. Now move on to the fourth round. Make a chain stitch as a beginning chain. For the start of each following round, you'll need to make 1 chain as your beginning chain. I won't repeat this instruction moving forward. Then work even and complete 5 single crochets. After finishing, move on to 2F. That means you will work 2 double crochets. Yarn over. Insert into the adjacent stitch. Yarn over again, draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook now. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. You have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over again, pull through once. That completes 1 double crochet. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Now move on to the second one. Yarn over. Insert into the adjacent stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, pull through the first 2 loops. Repeat this twice. once, twice. The second double crochet is now completed. Next, it's 3 fa, that is, work 3 double crochets decrease. Start with the first double crochet decrease. In the next 2 adjacent stitches, work 1 incomplete double crochet each. Yarn over. Insert your hook into the left stitch. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again. Pull through the first 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops left on the hook. 1 incomplete double crochet is done. Move on to the second double crochet decrease. Yarn over. Insert your hook into the adjacent stitch. Yarn over again. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. The second incomplete double crochet is finished. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull through all 3 loops on your hook in one go. 1 double crochet decrease is complete. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Continue with the second double crochet decrease. Start by making 2 incomplete double crochets first. 1 incomplete double crochet. 2 incomplete double crochets. Then yarn over again. Pull through all the loops on your hook. The second double crochet decrease is now finished. There's 1 more left. Go ahead and finish it. After completing that, work 2 double crochets evenly. Next, work 6 single crochets evenly. Once that's done, join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. Tighten the yarn. At the end of each round, you need to join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. I won't repeat this instruction. This way, the 4th round is completed. For the 5th through 8th rounds, the stitch techniques have already been demonstrated earlier. You can refer to the stitch patterns in the table and finish them accordingly. Start each round with 1 chain as your beginning chain. End by joining with the first stitch, using a slip stitch and tighten. Finish crocheting them. Everyone, take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the 8th round. Next, we'll work on the 9th round. In the chart, our 9 is 1 2x worked in front loop only, evenly. That means you pick up the front loops from the previous round, and work 12 single crochets without increasing or decreasing. Insert your hook into the front loop of the first stitch from the previous round. And make 1 single crochet. Then, continue to work single crochets in the front loops of the adjacent stitches. Work this round completely. After finishing the last stitch, leave a yarn tail of about 5 centimeters and break the yarn. Pull the yarn loop out. Rotate the fabric. Insert the hook into the first stitch of this round. Draw the yarn through. Next, pick up the back loop of the last stitch with your hook. It's like this strand of yarn. Pull the yarn tail through. This binding off method is called an invisible bind off. Finishing with this technique makes the edge of the fabric look more delicate and attractive. Now let's move on to round 10. In the chart, R10 is R8 back loop 4x, asterisk 2. That means picking up the back loops from round 8 and repeating the stitch pattern inside the parentheses twice. Take the corresponding color yarn. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Insert the hook into the back loop of the first stitch in round 8. That's this strand on the left side of the standing stitch. Pull the yarn through. Make a chain stitch as a beginning chain. Then work the stitches inside the parentheses. As you crochet, place both yarn tails above the hook to hide them. Work 4 single crochets evenly. After completing, pick up 2 adjacent strands, and work a single crochet decrease. This is the first time. There's one more left. After completing the last stitch, join with a slip stitch. Cut off the excess tail. That way, round 10 is done. Everyone, check the stitch count for this round. Next, you'll need to stuff it with filling cotton and add the shaping wire. Here, I'll demonstrate the method with a sample. First, stuff a little bit of filling cotton into the fabric. You can use a tool to help. Start with a small amount of stuffing. Then cut a piece of shaping wire about 50 centimeters long. Fold it roughly 15 centimeters from the bottom. Twist it slightly. Mind that the front end isn't too wide. Bend the front end just a little. Stuff it into the leg. Then stuff it with more filling cotton. Pay attention here, the shaping wire should be in the middle. Make sure the shaping wire reaches all the way to the front end. Bend it according to the curve of the foot. Now everyone, refer to the form. Crochet the corresponding rounds for the male and female legs. We'll treat this leg as the left one. After finishing the left leg, fasten off the yarn. Crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Leave about 5 centimeters of tail before cutting the yarn. Pull tight. Then crochet the right leg using the same method. Don't cut the yarn after finishing. That concludes the legs. Next, we'll learn how to crochet the body. Here's a semi-finished product for reference. Connect the 2 legs together. Continue crocheting upwards along the 2 legs. You'll need to attach the arms while crocheting. Please watch as I demonstrate the detailed crochet technique. Start with the first round of the body. Then connect the 2 legs together. Start with 2 single crochets on the right leg. Adjust the connection point to the inside of the leg. Work 2 chains next. Then take the left leg. Begin with a single crochet on the second stitch from the right side of the yarn end. This is also to ensure the connection is on the inside of the leg. Finish crocheting the single crochets for this leg. Place the yarn tail above the hook and hide it for now. After completing, on the connecting chain stitches, pick up half loops and work 2 single crochets. Then finish the remaining 8 single crochets for this leg. After completing, join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. Remember to check the stitch count. This way, the first round of the body is completed. The 2 legs are now connected. Twist the shaping wires together. Move on to crochet round 2. Start with 2 single crochets. Next, pick up the remaining threads of the connecting chain, and work 2 single crochets. After completing, work single crochets 1 stitch to another. Finish this round completely. Take a look. This is what it looks like after completing round 2. For the following rounds, refer to the chart, and crochet all the rounds needed for attaching the arms. After crocheting, break the yarn for the male version. For the female version, don't cut the yarn. Next, we'll work on the round that joins the arms. Here, I will continue demonstrating with a small sample. I'll use the female version to keep demonstrating. Don't cut the yarn. For the male version, you need to reattach the yarn and crochet. Start by crocheting 10 single crochets. Next, we'll join the left arm. Take out one of the arms. Start crocheting from the last stitch. Crochet 7 single crochets. No need to hide the yarn tail for now. Then, crochet 12 single crochets along the body. Next, we'll join the other arm. Crochet 7 single crochets starting from the first stitch. After that, finish with the remaining 2 stitches on the body. Finally, end with a slip stitch. That's how you join the arms. This completes round 16. Now, everyone refer to the form and crochet, all the way down to round 18. After crocheting it, insert the shaping wire. Here, I'll demonstrate the method with a small sample. First, take out the shaping wire, then fit it well with the arm. Leave a little at both ends. Trim off the excess part. Then fold the ends inward slightly. Next, insert it through both arms. There is a shaping wire in the actual body section here. You can pass it through the middle of the shaping wire. If the shaping wire is too long, trim it a little more. Next, everyone refer to the form, and crochet the corresponding rounds for the body. Then stuff as you go while crocheting. After completing the last round, if there's extra shaping wire, cut off the excess part. I've already cut it here. Then, leave a tail of about 15 centimeters, and cut it off. Thread the needle with the yarn tail. Then, pass it through the front loop of each stitch like this. And finally tighten the tail. This will close the opening. Then sew the tail in a bit here. Insert from the middle. And weave the thread through several times inside the body. Tie a knot. Hiding the tail inside the body. Trim off the excess yarn. Then thread the needle with the reserved tail from the arm. And sew up the hole under the arm with a few stitches. Again tying off and weaving in the ends inside the body. Use the same method to sew a few stitches on the other side of the armpit as well. This way, the body section is now completed. Next, let's learn how to make the head. Both males and females toys consist of a head, facial features, hair, and a hat. Start by crocheting the head. Use the magic ring method to begin. Follow the magic ring, form a loop, refer to the chart to crochet it properly. While crocheting, stuff the piece with fiber fill. Try to make it as firm and even as possible while stuffing. After crocheting, you need to tuck the protruding section into the head. Below, I'll demonstrate the method using a sample swatch. After completing the last round, chain 1 to secure. Leave about 5 centimeters of yarn tail before cutting the yarn. Gently tighten the yarn tail slightly. Then insert the protruding section into the head. You can use a crochet hook to assist. Ensure this part can fit properly into the body above. If it doesn't insert easily, you can use the handle of the crochet hook or another tool to widen the position a bit. That concludes the explanation of the crocheting method for the head. Next, let's learn how to make the facial features, starting with the eyes, eyebrows, mouth, ears, and blush. Let's start by making the eyes on the front of the head. Which is the side opposite to the slip stitch? Pull out the eye sockets between rounds 20 and 22. Leave about 6 stitches as the space between the two eye sockets. Below, I'll demonstrate the method for pulling out the eye sockets using a sample swatch. Then, pick up the yarn in the same color as the head. I'll use a different color here for demonstration purposes. Cut a long piece of yarn. Thread the yarn into a sewing needle. Then insert from any position at the back. Start by leaving a little yarn tail. Next, bring the thread to the marked position. Then insert from the left side. Follow by exiting from the other eye socket position. Insert again from the corresponding position on the right side. Then bring the end of the thread back to the starting tail position. Pull tight both ends of the thread. You can check if the spacing between the left and right eye sockets is about the same. If there's any deviation, you can rethread and adjust the eye socket. Tie a double knot with the two yarn tails. Hide the tail end inside. Weave in a few more stitches. Hide the other tail end inside using the same method. This way, the eye socket position is set. Then attach the eyes onto the eye socket positions. Apply glue on the flat side of the eyes. Attach it vertically. That's how you assemble the eyes. Next, embroider the eyelashes above the eyes. Now, let's show. First, cut about 30 centimeters of the corresponding color yarn. Take out 3 strands from it. Insert them into a finer sewing needle. Weave in the tail end inside the head first. Then stitch out next to the top of the eye to start embroidering. After finishing, carry the yarn across inside the head. Embroider the other eyebrow in the same way. Finally, weave in a few stitches for the tail and trim off. Finally, use a sewing needle, dip it into a small amount of glue, and secure the eyelashes in place. That completes the embroidery of the eyelashes, and that concludes the eyes. Next, apply blush to the area slightly below the eyes. Just apply on the blush there. Now everyone can finish it on their own. Next, we will embroider the eyebrows. The eyebrows are embroidered 2 rounds above the eyelashes. Each eyebrow takes up about 3 stitches. There is an interval of 5 stitches between the 2 eyebrows. Below, I will demonstrate the embroidery method. Cut a section of thread, about 20 centimeters long in the same color as the eyelashes. Take out 2 strands from it. Insert them into the sewing needle. First, secure the yarn tail inside the head. Then, stitch out at the corresponding position to embroider. After finishing, weave in the ends inside the head as well. Adjust it slightly. Slightly curve the eyebrows to create an arc. Then dip, and take a small amount of glue. Secure it in place. That concludes the eyebrows. Lastly, let's embroider the mouth, below the eyes. Skip this round and start embroidering. The mouth takes up 3 stitches. After finishing, you can use the needle to adjust the curve slightly, to make a smiling expression. The method for embroidering is identical to that of the eyebrows. Below, everyone can embroider it on their own. This concludes the mouth. Lastly, let's create the ears. There are 2 identical ears. Both use the magic ring method. Crochet along the starting point. Now, let's sew. Next, make the ears. Use the same color yarn as the head. Start with a magic ring. After completing the magic ring, make a chain stitch as a beginning chain. Then crochet 4 single crochets into the magic ring. After that, close the magic ring. Next, move on to round 2. Make a chain stitch as a beginning chain. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Then slip stitch into the last stitch of the previous round, and make 1 single crochet. Then continue by making a single crochet increase. One single crochet. And 1 slip stitch. Finally, crochet 1 chain to secure. Leave a 20 centimeters yarn tail before cutting the yarn. That's how you finish crocheting the ear. After completion, sew the finished ear onto the head. Thread the sewing needle with the reserved yarn tail. We will treat the second round as the right side of the ear. When sewing, make sure the right side faces forward. Sew with the right sides facing outward. About 6 to 7 stitches to the right, from the outer side of the eyes. The ears will be placed around rounds 21 to 23 of the head. Sew these 3 rounds along the bottom of the ear to the head securely. There's no specific requirement for the sewing method, just make sure it's sewn on tightly. After sewing tightly, tie the 2 yarn tails into a knot. Then hide the yarn tails inside the head. That completes one ear. Use the same method to crochet and attach the other ear, then sew it onto the symmetrical position. That concludes the explanation of making the facial features. Next, we will crochet the hair. It is divided into the scalp, parting, and strands. Start by crocheting the scalp and the parting. The method for crocheting the scalp and parting are identical. Both use the magic ring method. Crochet along the starting chain. Now, let's show. First, everyone follow the chart. Crochet the first 2 rounds. I've already finished them here. Next, we'll crochet the third round. Start by crocheting the number of groups in the parentheses. Then chain 9. After that, slip stitch from the second to last stitch. Once completed, treat the stitches crocheted on the chains as the parting. Continue crocheting the scalp along the stitches. Join with a slip stitch. When done, tighten the yarn. That completes the third round. The scalp and parting are now crocheted. Next, we'll crochet the hair strands. The technique for crocheting hair strands is the same for both females and males. It's just the stitch count and the number of hair strands that differ. For the following demonstration, I'll use the female version as an example. Let's start by crocheting the first strand. First, crochet the corresponding number of chain stitches. Then start from the second to last chain stitch, and work 1 slip stitch. One single crochet. And the corresponding number of half double crochets. After that, crochet 3 single crochets. Finally, make 1 slip stitch into the second stitch of the scalp. That completes the first hair strand. Now let's move on to the second hair strand. Start by crocheting the corresponding number of chains. Then start from the second to last stitch, and crochet according to the stitch pattern in the chart. After completing it, make 1 slip stitch into the third stitch of the scalp. That finishes the second hair strand. To complete the second hair strand. Next, everyone continues to refer to the table, and keep crocheting all the way down to the 8th hair strand. Here, I've already completed the previous hair strands. My sample has fewer stitches. Now let's move on to the 9th hair strand. First, crochet the corresponding number of chain stitches. Then start from the second to last stitch, and work the corresponding stitch pattern. After completing it, make 1 slip stitch into the first chain stitch of the parting. Pick up the other 2 strands and finish with a slip stitch. That completes the 9th hair strand. Next, everyone continues to crochet while referring to the table. When making slip stitches in the parting later, remember, you need to skip 1 stitch. That is, pick up the chain from the adjacent stitch, and complete the slip stitch with the other 2 strands. Below, everyone continues according to this method, and keeps crocheting all the way to the 13th hair strand. When crocheting later, there will also be a need to make a slip stitch on the other side of the parting. Below, I'll demonstrate the method. First, crochet all the corresponding stitches from the front section. I've already finished them here. Then, make a slip stitch on the other side of the 7th stitch in the parting, which means the 12th hair strand. Slip stitch in the same position to crochet. Later, when you need to make a slip stitch on the other side, follow this method. Below, continue referring to the chart, and finish crocheting all the remaining hair strands. Pay attention, after crocheting the corresponding number of strands, you'll need to slip stitch on the scalp again. Everyone, don't crochet wrong. After finishing the last strand of hair, make a slip stitch on the last stitch of the scalp. Then, leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. This way, the girl's version of the hair is finished. For the male version of the hair, follow the method learned here, and crochet according to the stitch pattern on the chart. This concludes the explanation of crocheting hair. Next, secure the hair onto the top of the head. Here, I'll explain using a sample swatch combined with the finished product. The wrong side of the scalp should face outward. while the right side faces the head. Align the starting point of the scalp with the starting point of the head. If you have pins at home, you can use them to secure it in place. Place the part where the hair is parted at the front, roughly aligned with the middle of the eyebrows. There are 2 longer strands of hair, one on each side. Then arrange the rest of the hair at the back sequentially. The longer strands at the front should be positioned in front of the ears. Close to the eyebrows. Arrange the hair at the back in order as well. The hair at the back should be roughly aligned with the 26th round of the head. Don't go too far down. After completing, use glue to secure them firmly. Start by gluing the bangs at the front. Pay attention to the long strands of hair at the front. No need to fix the area in front of the ears. You can use pins for assistance. Below, everyone can follow this method to glue all the hair in place. Mind that the long strands of hair are only glued to the 26th round. No need to glue below that. Apply glue on the scalp area as well, and secure it to the head. After the glue is completely dry, remove all the pins. Then take the long strands of hair on both sides and braid them into braids. Pay attention not to twist the strands while braiding. Secure the ending with the same color thread. Tie a few more knots to secure it. Then cut off the excess yarn tails. Next, take the other side, and follow the same method, to braid it into a braid. After finishing the braid, coil it to the back. The way of coiling the hair here can also be adjusted according to your own preference. Finally, use glue to secure it as well. Now everyone can finish it on their own. After completing, stick 2 small flowers on each side. Random colors. That concludes the female's hair. Next, let's secure the male's hair. Similarly, turn the scalp inside out. Place the parting at the front. Align the center of the scalp with the middle of the head. On the left side of the bangs, there are 5 strands. On the right side, there are 6 strands. The 5 strands on the left are placed between the ear and the eyebrows, arranged in a row and glued. The 6 strands on the right need to cover the area between the eyebrows and the ear, arranged in a row and glued. When gluing at the front, curve it slightly. The remaining strands go to the back, arranged between the ears. You can also secure them with pins first, then glue them down with glue. Below, you can simply glue it on your own. That concludes the explanation for the male version of the hair. Up to this point, we've covered all the details about the hair. Next, let's move on to making the hat. Both are composed of the main part and decorations. Start by crocheting the main body. The method of working for the main part is identical for both versions. It's just that the stitch count and round number differ. Below, I'll demonstrate the method using a sample swatch. First, refer to the chart. For the male version, crochet until the 9th round. For the female version, crochet until the 5th round. Below, I'll demonstrate the subsequent crocheting process. Here, I'll use a small sample to demonstrate. Start with a chain 1 as the beginning chain. Turn your work over, then slip stitch along the stitches. Pay attention to the position of the stitches on the upper left after turning. Complete this round entirely. After finishing, join with the first slip stitch. After finishing, move on to crochet the next round. Start with a chain 1 as the beginning chain. Turn your work over, then work single crochets along the V-shaped loops formed by the slip stitches. Complete this round entirely. After finishing, end with a slip stitch. Now everyone, refer to the chart. Crochet the remaining rounds of the hat. After finishing, leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. That concludes the main part of the hat. Next, let's make the decorations. For the male version, it's a strap. For the female version, it includes both a strap and a veil. First, crochet the strap according to the chart. After finishing, sew it onto the hat. Now, let's sew. Start by hiding the tail end of the strap on the wrong side. Make sure the right side of the strap faces out. Keep the stitch position facing up, then wrap it around the circumference of the hat. Align the connection point of the beginning and ending with the slip stitch position on the hat. Secure the beginning and ending well. You can sew it together with the hat. After sewing, weave in the ends inside the hat. Then use glue to secure the strap in place. That's all for the strap. Next, let's make the veil for the female version. Cut about 10 centimeters of double layer lace. Then sew it onto the side of the hat with the slip stitches. Now, let's sew. I've already prepared the lace. Then cut about 30 centimeters of same color yarn. Pull out 2 strands from it. Insert them into a sewing needle. Tie a knot at one end. Then take out the hat. First, secure the yarn tail on the hat. Next, place the lace in the corresponding position. Fold both sides inward. Then sew and secure it. After securing, weave in the ends inside the hat. This completes the veil. Once done, glue 2 flowers on one side of the front of the hat. The position here can be adjusted according to preference. Finally, attach the hat to the hair. For the male version, the hat tilts backward. For the female version, the hat is sewn roughly at the top of the head. Below, I will demonstrate the sewing method. Cut about 40 centimeters of the same color thread as the hat. Take out 2 strands from it. Insert them into the sewing needle. Tie a knot at one end. Place the hat in the corresponding position. Then secure the tail first. Next, sew around the body of the hat from the inside. When sewing the female version to the veil, sew it together with the veil. After sewing, tie off and weave in the ends neatly. This way, the hat is sewn. Up to this point, we have finished talking about the hat.